we're just heading into the first game. It's Priest versus the Warrior.
By Firebat's deck choices, but I'm actually really looking forward to the series. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, exactly. We saw a pretty kind of strange Warrior. So much taunt in there.
What? The Warrior was pretty standard, right? Like
yeah, okay. On
so
leather,
cool.
yeah.
No, yes, the Warrior was a bit strange. We saw a lot of defensive tools. I think it was especially tuned to beat pirate decks.
Yeah.
That means the Priest should pretty much stomp it, right?
Yeah. Priest doesn't care too much about all the taunts.
Also, you got like the Bloodhoof Braves and the Allied Armor Smiths. Like they're just really good Shadowed Pain targets.
yeah.
I think the big thing is that the Priest, like what it can do really well, the deck, it applies board pressure without really losing resources. But on the other hand, what I see in Firebat's hand is the War Axe, and I think the weapons are really key for the Warrior here. I think if he manages to like control the early game with the weapon and just get nice value out of his resources, I think he has a shot.
Yeah, especially followed up by Kokoro Elite, which is for attack, which is always hard to handle as a priest.
Yeah, that's true. It's Kokoro Elite is just very nice against the Priest, I guess, as removal. You can trade into like the 2/4 taunt or just into a Cleric, and it's still there.
Yeah, let's really see how that goes. There's no other dragon yet in the hand of Lifecoach.
Yes, but I think this problem will soon be solved. As soon he plays the Historian, he gets another dragon, and maybe can even coin out a Twilight Whelp. I really like that he preserves his Cleric here, because it's his only card draw source here at the very moment, and yeah, he can use it later, and he doesn't play into a War Axe, which Firebat really has.
Yeah, and he equips it. So here we go. No, that's not too bad.
That's quite interesting now. He has a lot of lines now. You can just play the Historian and feed the War Axe. You could also play the Historian and coin out the Shield, it makes it a bit harder. Or Historian and coin out a Whelp. Although I don't really like the Whelp, because you really just feed the War Axe. That's not very nice.
Yeah. Bookworm.
I think the Bookworm is a very good choice, because you can, as I said, like you can eat the Bloodhoof Braves, which is like just insane, or the Allied Armor Smith. Like if you eat a 4 or 5 drop with a Bookworm,
yes,
you're pretty much a reading master. That's very, very good. But Lifecoach sees that, he goes forward, picks the Bookworm, and yeah, I think it's a very good pick.
Yeah, we will see that later in the game, that's for sure. And he thinks about playing another, maybe the 1-drop or something like that. But just as you said, why would you do that now?
I don't know if you want to use your X on this 1/3. It doesn't really apply any pressure, and I think you want to have the X for like bigger creatures like Twilight Guardians or Twilight Drakes.
Yeah.
So I would like seeing him holding the X here, and maybe you just develop the Ghoul, since it's not very good anyways.
Yeah, it's so strong to combine it with the Ghoul, with the Bash, to kill like the 4 or 5 drops, stuff like that.
I think the most important thing for Firebat here is like the resource management. If he manages to use his weapon hits right, or the bash or the shield slams right, that's very about it, I think.
Yeah.
And he goes forward, drops the Ghoul, but I don't really like the weapon hit here. It's a very, very valuable resource.
And it's...
And the Ghoul contests the 1/2 anyway, so
yeah,
why waste it? I really like him holding onto a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you kill it off? It's no threat at all.
What it does here is it gives Lifecoach a draw, but I don't think that's the biggest problem. I think Firebat wants to first get on the board and don't waste his hit here. I don't think the draw is the most terrible thing here.
Yeah. Holding on to the resource, and even if he draws, it's basically turn 3 for nothing, right?
I agree. Lifecoach can cycle a bit here. The only problem he has, he doesn't have really good developments yet. Like, I really see, like, you could buff your Cleric and then coin out the heal, but then it just gets eaten by the Ghoul. So that's very, very tricky for Lifecoach here. You don't really want to use your Shadowed Pain here, because you got much better targets later on.
Yeah, but maybe because you have the Bookworm later on as well. Maybe you could use it. if you're in such an awkward spot. But yeah, the creature contests the board. It can get killed, of course, here.
And also, like, what's very powerful for Firebat, he can just trade the ghoul and eat it.
Yeah.
And now he gets the Corcoran trade, and the Corcoran still lives. And since Lifecoach used the coin, there can't be like a Blackwing Corruptor, so this is very a problem.
Oh, another one.
Yes.
But it's still fine, or?
It's still fine. Unfortunately, Firebat just has the Bash and the War Axe hit, so the 4-2
yes.
will still be on the board. Shield Slam not very useful here, so... It's very annoying for Lifecoach though that there is a 4-2, like a Blackwing Corruptor would come in very handy here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah.
Another Historian.
But that's not really what you want to see here. At this stage of the game, you really want to get your big minions like the Operative or an Azure Drake maybe. Although the Azure Drake wouldn't really be nice here because he has the Corcoran board. Like maybe even a Twilight Guardian would be really good. So this is very much looking good for Firebat here.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you said Twilight Guardian. He had that as an option to get instead of the Bookworm. Bookworm makes more sense in my my understanding.
In your book.
In my book, yeah, of course. But yeah, in this special case, it would have been better to get the Twilight Guardian, right?
Don't you think it's very interesting that a lot of the Dragon Priest minions are just reading books? Is it like that doesn't mean you have like a very intellectual deck?
Yeah, it's priest, so maybe yes.
Maybe yes. Maybe it fits to the theme.
Yeah.
The Chromagos I like it. You just want to get the big boy here, and he looks also pretty cool and golden. So yeah, you just pick him, I guess.
I see you just switched to the roleplay section of the Hearthstone.
Yes, and I think it's also the most important one, right? I mean,
yeah.
Where are we here? The Armorsmith coming down for Firebat. The thing I would be afraid of in Firebat's shoes, like it would really be a Bookworm here because he already played 2 Historians. Or do you really trade the Corcoran into that? And now you play, and this is where tables change.
Yes,
like
suddenly
eating a 5-drop and developing a 3/6 at the same turn. Yeah. Yeah. Lecker. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically, yeah, as you can see in Lifecoach's face.
Yeah, that is, that's a pleasure. He's like, whoa. The funny thing is, like, what Lifecoach does at this point, he's like evaluating how good it actually was, and when he's like, oh, it was really good. Look, he can see that the smile in his face. It's very funny. He's just counting, oh, man. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And suddenly it doesn't look that good anymore for Firebat because he doesn't have a 7-drop. The Execute does nothing here. And even if he gets out his big minions like the Ragnaros or the Grom, the Shadow of Death is already waiting.
Yeah.
And I think Firebat is not running a Brawl.
I don't think so, no. If it's stacked against all the pirates, Brawl doesn't really make sense. And yeah, he can basically just outvalue the warrior.
Yes.
Speaking of.
Yeah, the Operative is insane. Like, you develop the 5/6 buddy here, and you're likely to just pick another big minion out of Firebat's deck, because there's like the Don Han Show left, the Varian Rin. If you get one of these minions additionally, like, how is the warrior ever going to handle that? It's like, it's insanity.
Yeah.
So what do you like to see here? You can just develop the Operative and play the 2-drop, I think. I don't think you need to wait with the 5/6, and also if Lifecoach scouted right, he didn't see any brawls in Firebat's deck, and it doesn't really make sense. It seems like kind of a tempo warrior Firebat is playing, and the Sylvanas is a very, very good pickup. Like, if you play a Sylvanas into a Rag or into a Sogoth, you're very, very happy.
Yes.
Yeah, the pain train just keeps coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually curious.
Are you already in the spot where you have to play Ragnaros and hope for the
a
hit?
good hit?
Yes.
Although the Grom does, I mean, you can also play the Grom and hope there is like no clean answer to it, and it also aligns very nicely into the 2/4. So yeah, I like this line.
Yeah.
Potion of Madness doesn't quite steal a 10/7, but we can just maybe play Sylvanas into that, or even just play Twilight Guardian Death.
Yeah, why not?
I actually would like, I mean, I don't know if I like the Sylvanas here. Sylvanas is nicer to play into like a Ragnaros, because the Grom can just trade into the 5/6 when Firebat develops nothing, and you don't get really the value from the Sylvanas you want. So maybe you just Shadow Word Death the Grom here, and keep hitting the face of the warrior. That also makes the Shield Slam option way worse.
Yeah, especially because how likely is it that Firebat got another big minion in his hand, or what other good targets does he play? So why not just destroy it, build up the board, deal a little bit of damage?
I agree. So it seems like, yeah, he's going for a Shadow Word Death, and I think also the Guardian is coming down, right?
Yeah, but the Cleric isn't coming down yet, I guess.
Yeah, and now he has a decent amount of pressure on the board. He can pretty much answer everything with the Sylvanas. I think I like Lifecoach spot here.
I like the Lifecoach, you wanted to say.
Yeah, here, fire burning. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's understandable. It's very much understandable.
Yeah. It's the 5/6.
And now the Sylvanas shines, even golden. But yeah, the Sylvanas is really good here. This is really painful, because now normally you can just say I trade a big minion away into another minion, and normally you don't get the full Sylvanas value. But in this case, you can't really trade the Ragnaros.
Yes.
Because he does whatever he wants.
He trades himself in.
He trades himself in, yeah. Worst case, Rag hits Sylvanas, Sylvanas steals Rag. It happens every time. So, you can, I think Harrison Armor Up is reasonable. You can also say you play the Ghoul and the Corcoran, so you make it more unlikely that the Sylvanas steals a good target, like the Ragnaros.
Yeah, but most likely will... Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right, but...
This is very tricky for Firebat. How do you deal with this? Like, this also shows you the power of the operative. Like, you're like, my deck doesn't have an answer for that, but the operative, he will find one. It's like, the card is just so strong, and it just makes Priest a powerhouse again, I think.
Yeah, and especially against slow decks like the Warrior here, you just add additional value to your deck. Like a really huge powerhouse like Sylvanas. So why not?
Yeah, especially against a minion heavy deck like Firebats. Very good.
Yeah.
So, what will the Rag hit? The chosen girl?
Is that always Sylvanas? No.
Killed the girl.
The other chosen girl.
What can we do here? Is there some fancy play? Can you steal the Ragnaros, that is? Not really, right?
What if you draw a card? What can you draw that helps?
Huh. It's interesting. You can say you just trade the Twilight Guardian and trade into the Ragnaros with the Sylvanas and heal the Rag up. You get also an additional 8 damage, which is very nice.
Yeah.
You can also... You also already saw an Execute. You could even cast the Talon Priest on the Rag. I do like this.
Yeah.
It's also very nice because you get rid of the Shield Slam option once again. Just draw here.
Yeah, I thought you just saw a Shield Slam for 2 damage.
Yes.
So.
I also like getting the Cleric down out here, because next turn you can play potentially Chromagus and to heal your own minion when you get 2 cards. It's very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lifecoach knows there is no brawl. So yeah, just develop a board and
8/7 is good enough.
So what does Firebat have to draw here? Don Hunt Show.
Okay. That won't help you. Yeah, what you gonna
Can't
do?
really do anything, right? I mean, you have to play him probably, and he's pretty cool. Buffs the Harrison. On a charge minion, he's actually very useful sometimes.
Yeah. Or on Sogot, as we see.
Yeah, and here comes the Chromagos. He's gonna draw you double the value. Yeah. I like Chromagos. He's a cool card.
And he's golden, as you mentioned. But
Yeah. I think he's one of my favorite dragons, though. Like, look at him.
yeah, you do have a top 10 of favorite dragons.
I think I like dragons in general. Yeah, kills Donan Show, and I think this is checkmate for Firebat. He doesn't also look very happy here. It's actually very crazy if you think about it. If like Donan Show buffs an Acolyte of Pain, now that's value.
Yeah, but as you mentioned on the charge minions, it's so
Level
much
up,
value. Right?
level up.
Oh, level up! Yeah.
This is how we see how often Lifecoach actually plays Priest. He doesn't play it.
What rank was he? What level was he?
I think level 30 or something. I think it was actually at one point. I think Lifecoach he played Patron Warrior, but he wanted to get the golden gnomish inventors. But he had to play Priest for it, so he started playing Priest, and like halfway through, he was like, "I can't, I can't do that. It's too much of a time waste just to get his deck golden."
Yeah, yeah, I see
That's
that.
pretty funny.
Hey, half his deck was golden. The other half wasn't, right?
Our half was.
Okay. So
I mean, I think up till now, like there are very few people who have a golden priest.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
yes. So let's go into the highlights, I guess.
The highlights of
Oh,
the
are
game. No, I think we're just going to next match, right?
Just to the next match this time.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So let's continue. What do we get? So we got a Dragon Priest against Sulok or Shaman. We haven't seen the Shaman yet. I think it's maybe a Bogchamp Shaman. Let's see.
Firebat said every deck he brought is not like
Usual deck or
Yeah.
what? Yeah, so it's probably like a control Shaman. The Priest against control decks normally does fine because yeah, every time the same story. You play your minions, you have a big board, and they recycle themselves. Hard to deal with, very hard to deal with, indeed.
yeah, some dragons, some healing, some winning.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm thinking as well. And he already has the powerhouse dragon in his hand.
Huh.
Hmm.
Do you know if he did scouting on the deck?
I mean, he did, yes, he did.
Oh,
So that is a pretty normal shaman build.
Yeah.
It seems like Smork.
yeah, it kind of makes sense because all of Firebat's decks are strong against the pirates, and this deck is strong itself against pirates.
Yeah.
Even the aggressive version.
Yeah, now we see the power of patches once again. He can just play the 2/1 pirate, get the patches, trades his totem golem, trades the patches, and he's on board. Like, some people might say, how does a 1/1 affect the game? But it does very much if you cycle it for free out of your deck, right?
Yeah, you get a card draw for free. You get a 1/1 for free, a charge for free. Most of the time, 1 to like 4 or 3 damage, and it's a pirate itself.
One might say the Shadow of Death doesn't really look good in the hand of the priest, but if you look at Firebat's hand,
Yes.
it looks very, very good.
Especially with the last draw.
I think this is the most painful thing that can happen to you as the Face Shaman player if you develop your 7/7s and they get a clean answer because you also overloaded. Like, it's such a good answer, the Shadow of Death on the 7/7.
Yeah.
Problem for Lifecoach though, he has to pass a turn here, and that has to tell Firebat something. Like, a heads-up play here is actually not playing the 7/7 because you know he has a very reactive hand. But
Yeah, but
oops.
can you afford to not play the 7/7 here?
What it does though, playing it, you break an hour of another turn of Lifecoach, so he can't develop big minions. And now you also got a nice follow-up by the wolf, so it's not that bad for him now because you got a decent follow-up, I feel like.
Yeah, but it's also not that good because he can just heal up and he just got 3 damage, heals up for 2, so basically
Yes.
he's skipping the turn, which is always good for him.
I think the biggest problem is, by the way, not the first Shadow Death. I think it will actually be the second
Yeah.
one. That's very, very crucial. Like, you play the first Flame Wrath Faceless, you think like, yeah, he might have it. You play the second one, you're like, man, he has the second one, really? And it's not like, what's very nice for Lifecoach as well, like his early game aligned very well, although he had to skip a turn. He somehow was able to stabilize still.
Yeah, but he's just ahead because he had all the answers, right?
Yeah. So this is the key turn, I feel like, for Firebat. If Firebat does not play, yeah, he doesn't play the 7/7, so wow. He feels like answering that is more important, and he doesn't want to get blown out of the game here. Interesting line, also very heads-up line.
Very interesting line.
Yes.
Especially, there's Jade in his hand.
Yes. So how does it look on the other side, though? We have 2 dragons which are a bit slow, but the operative might do the job here. You might pull like a Maelstrom portal. Yeah, and Shadow Pain is a good pickup indeed. Yeah, I think we can just play the operative, fish something good out of the opponent's deck like it always does, and just look forward from there on.
Yeah, let's go, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the Azure Drake is just not fast enough. Yeah, and talking about the Maelstrom portal,
You're a wizard.
it is a decent chance you pick it up. If it's, yeah, it's a decent chance. So this dies here, and now suddenly we got a 5/6 and a 1/2 on board, and we removed 2 minions from your opponent, and Lifecoach is just immediately checking his value meter again.
Yes.
Did we get a new high score? I mean, it's so funny. He's counting.
He's counting.
It.
He's counting.
Look at it, he's laughing. This is hilarious. It's like he's counting. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Oh, it's insane.
Oh, lecker.
No, it's insane. It's insane. It's funny to see him counting the value.
But just look at his face now. If the second 7/7 comes down, he doesn't even need to count, right?
He just knows that was already very good.
And just know, oh,
And he's like, yeah, I got a 5-drop and a 3-mana removal for his 6-mana card. Yeah, there's not much Firebat can do here.
no.
And also a problem I see for Firebat actually. His Zulok is tagged against pirate decks.
And Sue isn't too good against priests.
Especially
At all.
against this priest. I think Potion of Madness does a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will definitely be a problem for him. So yeah, let's see.
Do you want to AoE here on top? Do you need to?
Do you need to AoE? I don't think you need to.
Will there be more minions to target than now? Or do you
I think there might be. On the other hand, I think if Firebat picks up a Doomhammer, he might still be in the game.
Especially with the Rockbite in hand.
Especially with the Rockbiter in hand. He also has like some reasonable amount of burst, and he has a Druid Hero power. So he doesn't get the Doomhammer here. So it's the question here is like, how many turns can he really survive?
I think you need to play on board now.
You don't really have enough. So what do we do here? Jade Lightning on the Azure Drake or the...
Can you put it face? Because I feel like you need to play on board now. Just to get the Doomhammer.
So he's going for the full board line, yeah?
Yeah.
And when he says I can get a Doomhammer and it buys a bit more time, I do like this line a lot.
Yeah.
What Lifecoach can do on the other hand now, he can fish for a Taunt Dragon here with the Historian. Or he just plays the Corruptor as well. I think if Lifecoach finds a Taunt here, Firebat can't break through anymore because Lifecoach also has the Power Shield in hand and it just buffs the dragon up too big.
Just clear the board, you know?
With the Shadow Pain, you mean?
and the Blackwing, and then you can slip.
And when you
play
say
forward
he
shield.
can't burn you anymore, right?
Yeah, and you fish for the taunt in your deck.
Yes. Yes, I think that's good.
Other options?
There are quite some options here. He's just thinking about if clearing the board here is worth it.
He does have a Zuldrake and Holy Nova next turn.
So he finds a Twilight Guardian. I think this is the card he was really looking for.
Yeah.
He gets this, makes it a 3/8, and how does Firebat ever break through here?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's 7 HP.
And now Firebat does need the Doomhammer at this very moment, and he doesn't get it. I think if Firebat gets the Doomhammer, he can even maybe break through the Twilight Guardian with a Rockbiter, but it's very, very expensive.
Yeah, I don't see any way here. Because beside the taunt, he still got power shield to buff up the taunt and heals, and Holy Nova heals as well. So
yeah, I think that's the problem. Like once the Dragon Priest stabilizes, or you give him the initiative, it becomes such a powerhouse. Like you got overstated minions every turn, and pretty much infinite resources. Like you never run out of cards. Like you never saw Lifecoach even be close to be struggling with his resources. So it's pretty funny. Yeah. So we do that. We do the Drake. Easy.
and then it's just like as you see.
Yes.
Yeah, face
Yes.
no face.
I think so too. Buccaneer.
The second one. That's
There were quite a few blanks here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lifecoach is going to take a break here, right? Yes, yes. It
Is
seems
he?
like he's taking a break,
he
right?
was standing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, he just drank some coffee before, so maybe the toilet is calling.
too much coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I like your beard.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah?
Cup of pride in chat.
Cup of pride? You look a bit like, you know, the old Dortmund trainer. It was the Jürgen Klopp.
Jürgen Klopp, yeah.
You are.
Yeah, that's my brother actually.
It's your brother.
Yeah.
I actually, chat was asking that, so Twitch chat.
Yeah.
You got your answer.
My younger brother.
Your younger brother, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
My younger brother.
So it's just the beard jeans.
Yeah, it's just a beard and
Nice,
like
nice.
the glasses and stuff like that.
So yeah, why is Lifecoach actually always roping us? Like he's roping us while he's playing. He's roping us in the breaks.
I think we have just to get over it.
Yes, yes.
Maybe talking about your top 10 dragon list.
My top 10 dragon list. What is the coolest dragon in the game? I think it has to be Malygos.
Why?
Okay, first of all, he's the coolest combo dragon out there.
Second of all, you have an emote showing Malygos.
I have a Malygos emote, that's very true.
That doesn't count. I'm sorry.
That doesn't count, okay. Malygos. Dragons just in general. They are cool, right?
Yeah.
Sadly, like in 3 months, the new expansion, with the new expansion, the dragons will cycle out. A lot of them, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be sad.
Yeah, I wonder because the Dragon Priest seems so strong at the moment, right now, and most of the mid-range dragons will be gone. Like also like the Corruptor will be gone.
Corruptor is a power card, right, in the dragon decks. It's
So
very,
the 4 and the
very
5
good.
drop are gone then.
Yeah. Huh. So no more dragon decks? Maybe we get new ones.
Do I see a tear in your eye? I got you. Oh wait!
Oh, look, I'm a caster and I'm an analyst.
Yeah. No, I'm the analyst. You're the caster.
I'm the caster?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you're the. Yeah. Don't. It just doesn't matter. Let's go to the next game. That wasn't a rope of Lifecoach, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So what do you actually want to have here? You play against the Sulok. I think the Shadowed Pain is very, very good because you can just Shadowed Pain like his Imp Gang boss. Or like even just a high priority target like Knife Juggler. I think the Pain is a reasonable keep against Sulok.
Yeah, pain is always a reasonable keep.
Yes.
Keep the pain.
Keep the Pain.
Keep the pain up.
So here we have the problem from Firebat's side. I think it's tagged.
Oh yeah.
It's tagged against weapon classes.
Yeah,
and
there's
I
this
don't
one boost.
think. Oh wow.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah, I mean everything is just very crazy. It's tagged against weapon classes, and yeah, I don't really think Andrian is swinging an axe. So yeah, that's a problem, I guess.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's very nice that he has the Microsoft Imp as an opener, but how does Lifecoach really
I would
open here?
I would really want to see him stealing the minion now, just going face and then emoting to show dominance because he will win. most likely.
Oh. I got it, yeah.
Yeah. But value-wise, that's not too good, so he won't do it, right?
So what do we do here? Peddler is a reasonable pickup. I would. What is going on here? Yeah, he cycles the card.
Yeah, why not drawing a
That's
card?
nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Sadly, no free drop. What could we do here? We could steal that Malkasar's imp and just say, "Not today, bro."
Do you need to do it?
I mean, what are the options? You can also just pain the 2-drop, but you really want to pain the gang boss if possible because it's probably problematic to deal with the gang boss, right?
Yeah, but maybe you just let it live one more turn. Next turn, you still got the opportunity to play both cards, and
yeah. You could also just drop the Historian maybe, but when the Malkasar's imp trades into your 2/4, and you don't really want to see that, right? I think the potion is very reasonable here.
Yeah.
It's just like because you still have a minion on board, and you also take his trading opportunity away. So yeah, I think the potion is a good pick here.
Normally, you would always go for the play that makes establishes the most of the board control, and therefore the.
Oh, I do not like this. This is very, very interesting.
Is the potion?
Is
it just better than?
I mean, what you did now. I mean, you used your mana efficiently. I get that.
Yes.
But you didn't really accomplish more.
Yeah, you did accomplish that you can play curve next turn and the turn afterwards.
Yes, but it gets punished by exactly that, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Might be one of a bigger misstep there because yes, you do play off curve. I get that, but you do also use one of your best removals against the Sulok.
Yeah, but on the other hand, yeah, I think he should have waited until
I think so.
something like that.
The board stat is like exactly the same now.
Yeah.
So what to do here? I think luckily he picks up the 1-drop here, but he would have got it anyway. So what do we do here? Do we pick an Our Whelp or do we want to have a bigger dragon like the Operative here?
It's a kind of close call because you want to play the Twilight Guardian into the Blackwing unless you play the potion next turn to trade off something.
Yeah.
Therefore, it doesn't really matter much, right? For the next 2 or 3 turns. And afterwards, what's better? Like
so you would rather have a dragon which gives you like a bit more value later in the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And therefore, it's just the best card itself.
I agree. I totally agree. The Soulfire, interesting. Huh.
Oh.
I don't really think you need the Soulfire here. You could also just go for double 2-drop. But the problem is like the Direwolf just gets eaten by the ooze. What you also could do is here you play by the Dwelp, I mean. What you could do is play the ooze, trade the Imp Gang boss, and play the 1-drop and Soulfire, and go for the 50-50.
Maybe that's your best chance. But
you could also go for the 50. Maybe I like the Soulfire here, just now on the 2-3.
Yeah, before
because you wanna get rid of the discard card anyways, and it's a nice way to get rid of it. And pray that it doesn't hit your Doomguard.
Okay,
like.
pray for it. Oh,
that's actually the best outcome.
Yeah, that's the best one.
That's the best one because now we can play the Doomguard next turn, and we don't see a clean answer from Lifecoach's side. But what we do see here is the Potion of Madness.
Yes.
And the Talon Priest, you know what's insane about this? Because he can't steal the gang boss here. Because it's a 3-2 now. So Firebat played actually around that.
Yes.
That gives Firebat an extra imp, but the Talon Priest... Wow. The Talon Priest is so good here, because how do you ever remove this 1/6 now?
I think it's strong enough here.
I think this was very important for Lifecoach to pick up this additional 3 drops. Otherwise, he would have had just the Potion of Madness and nothing else. Argus, I think you want to play that?
He's just like, no.
That does hurt. I see the Su running out of resources here, and on the other hand, he didn't really apply enough pressure.
Yes. It just hurts that the priest is still at 20 H.
It does hurt, yeah, indeed. It does hurt very much.
Yeah, like really, very little.
Very little, yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, Firebat doesn't also look too happy up in his castle there. The king in the castle. The dragon priest. You might just pick the knife juggler, right? Like the knives are reasonable against the Sulok.
He just is going for the coins here.
Yeah, he's
Just
fishing.
so many coins.
It's about the value, Kamlan.
Yeah.
Don't you see it?
Will you get rich after you do it like 50 times?
So, that's what do you need to get from that? Maybe corruption? Is it even good enough? But because it will just eat your Doomguard.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there are any 1-drops in the game that will help him here.
Maybe just a Void Walker to protect your Doomguard. Flame Imp helps him to apply a bit more pressure. The Void Walker is not a bad pickup here. You could just play the Flame and the Void Walker now. Problem is just like Lifecoach just has the strong tools to deal with this board. Like Corruptor is very nice. Like he has even Talon Priest to just make his big drops even bigger. Firebat is very much going for the board game here, and I don't know if that's the way how you beat the Dragon Priest.
Oh, damn, that's brutal.
I don't know. I don't think he needed that.
Maybe not yet, but in the future it will be like the last resource, really.
Yes, it's just nice. It's like the safety tool you have if something goes wrong, but yeah. I'm in charge now.
Wait, where did that come from?
Yeah. Lifecoach is just like, yeah, jackpot. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, can you, like, what Firebat is trying to do? He's trying to, like, go for the board. And he hopes that Lifecoach just doesn't have enough resources in hand. But the problem is, like, Dragon Priest doesn't really run out of resources.
Yeah, but that's the problem because Lifecoach is ahead of every resource that's in the game. So what shall I do? And not just slightly ahead.
Yeah, now you got all these pirates which are not really doing anything. And checkmate. Lifecoach takes the series with the Dragon Priest 3-0.